Hi everyone, this video will show you how to create the laser name tag. You may pause at any moment and repeat the steps if you need to, but I'm going to go relatively quickly. All right, so when you go to the RE3 website from my webpage, you go to Home and then Fabrication. At the fabrication page, you can get the RE3 online software link. When you do that, it brings you to the page. You'll probably have to tell it to log in with your Google account. You can click that checkbox where you're agreeing to the licensing and then hit OK. All right, once you load, this is your environment. I'm going to double click on the project name. You should always name your project with your class, your name, first name and last initial. You can do your whole name if you'd like, and then the name of the project. Because if you end up doing multiple projects, which you will likely be doing, then you would want to tell me which project. So when I grab it from your folder, I'll know which one to do. Okay, then once you've named it, the next step is to add the rectangular shape that will cut out your nameplate. Just click on the rectangle tool, and on this drop-down list, select the rectangle tool, and then it shows up here. You just simply click and drag on the page to get the rectangle. Don't worry about its location and don't worry about its size. If you get a shape you don't want, you click on it. You can see how it's highlighted here and over here. When it's not highlighted, it looks like this orange line. You click on the one you don't want and hit the delete key on your keyboard, or the trash bin here from the layers and objects list. Now, to change the size of it, we are going to use the properties menu on the right here. So you need to make sure that you click on the object to select it. If you're having difficulty clicking on the object, you can come over here and click on it from the objects list. Then over here on the properties, you change the width to 6 and the height to 2. If you're struggling because it keeps changing one or the other, that means you probably have this selected in here and unselect that so it's hollow or empty to change the numbers separately. Now that you have your object size properly, you can drag it around on the screen, but it doesn't matter. Leaving it somewhat in the center of the workspace is probably preferred. Now, in order for this to actually cut out the material, you have to click on it and convert it to a path, and that's this tool right here. Notice how it's light yellow. Notice it says rectangle over here on the left. When you click the tool, it dims out because you've done it, and over here, it says it is now a path. All right. That's working with the getting the rectangular shape. Now, the more difficult, I am going to create or work with the pictures. This is more difficult only because it's skill sets that require some knowledge that you may not, you think you know, but you may not know. So simply, I'm going to reshare my screen here. Looks like I'm still sharing the screen. Okay, that's good. All right, now you need to go to Google Drive. Now, Google Drive, you know how to get to. You go to the waffle at a new tab and you go to Drive. You should be in your innovation folder when you do this, because anything you create will be then added to your project from there. I'm going to hit new, and I need to add a new file that you may not be used to working with in Google. It's called the Google Drawing. So when you hit new, you come down and you say more, and there's Google Drawings. You always hit create and share when you're doing it in a shared folder. I like renaming files so they're never just say untitled, and this will be name for laser cut project or nameplate or whatever you would like to say. This is not going to be for me, it's going to be for you. All right, so now I'm going to put on a text box. Just click the text box tool and just click on the screen so you get something. Before you do anything else, you need to type what it is you want. If you click somewhere else, you'll lose seeing the text box. You may modify by making bold, italics. You may modify by changing the font style. Make the font size 96. Now, if your name wraps inside the box, simply click and drag the box to make it bigger. And that is basically all you need to do. There are other alternatives that you might consider if you want to do your whole last name. You might put it on another line. So this way, it doesn't end up being too small when we put it in the shape. But you also may put a nickname there. You may put a family member's name, your pet's name, whatever you'd like to put there, as long as you know it's appropriate. Then finally, once you have that all set, say File, and then say Download. And this is the important part. It needs to say PNG. Once you do that, it goes to your Downloads folder. You don't need to click on it. All you need to do is come back to your Nameplate tab and then insert it. How we insert it into the project, we go to the File menu here at the top. We say Import Image, and then we find it from the Downloads folder because that's what we just did. Should be the most recent thing. Once you have it, you click and drag it into the space. Now, working with the picture. This one's a little bit more complicated because of other tools that you'll end up using. We do not want to print backgrounds because we want to learn how to do this. If you want the whole image to be there, you can do that, but please follow these steps so you know how to do it. I like saxophones because I played for many years. So I'm going to search and find a saxophone. I played the tenor sax. These are all altos. There's my tenor. You can go for an actual picture if you want. You can go for a graphic. These load differently. I'm going to choose this one right here. And then right here is important. You need to right click and download. Don't click on this side to go because it ends up going to the web page. Actually, I like this one better because it's at the angle that I want. Oh, there's no mouthpiece on that. You know the image you want. Try not to spend too much extra time finding the image you want because you'll end up wasting a lot of time. So we're going to say save that image, right click on the picture just to show you how I did that again. You right click or two finger tap, you say save image as, and then you save it in the downloads folder. One last final check before you do this. Make sure it has an image type here and it doesn't say WPEG or anything like, or web page or anything like that, because if it's not an image file, you're not going to be able to work with it. All right, so that's what you do. You download it to the downloads folder. Now it's important to do this. Go to the website, remove.bg. Then you say upload the image that you just downloaded. I choose the image and I say open, or I double click on the image. What this will do is clear out the background of the image for you. So it makes it a PNG file from a JPEG. But it's important to clear out that background because you may not like the way the image looks with a background on it. Once I do that, I do repeat the process. File, import, image or drawing, grab the new one. Notice how this one said remove BG, grab that one. And then it converts my image to a JPEG. Now, when you're resizing this image, I don't want to squish it. Your name is a little bit different because font styles can be a little stretched and they don't look too bad. But what you got to be careful about doing is stretching images. So to stretch or to change the size of an image, hold the shift key, and when you click and drag one of the corners, this way it will keep it in proportion and it won't make it look distorted. And then I click and drag, and once I get close, I can use the arrow keys on my keyboard to really move it, nudge it, I should say, just a tiny bit. All right, once I've got my nameplate set up, if you want to put this as a bag tag on your bag, or you want to put a string through it and hang it somewhere, you'll need to cut a hole into it. So that can always be done at a later time if you don't want to do it right now. To do that, I simply click the circle or the ellipse tool from the shape drop down, and I do a circle. I held the shift key when I did that, so this way it would be a perfect circle. Over here, if it wasn't a perfect circle, I can do 0.25, 0.25. That's 1/4 of an inch. And then I've got it the exact size that I want. I'm nudging it because I got it close, but I don't want it to get too close to the edge of the cut because it could break through if I'm not careful. I also have to convert that to a path or it will not cut through. And now we are ready to go. Final step. I want to download this project. You have to do that in order to save it. Because if you don't do this step and you end up leaving class before the project is over, then you will lose this project. So I come to the file menu and I say export file to project, or project to file, excuse me. That project now goes into your innovation folder. So get into your innovation folder in Google Drive. Whoops, I didn't mean to open that. And then you are in your innovation folder in Google Drive, and you say new file upload. You choose the RE3 project that you just downloaded and open it. And when you are done doing that and you finished your nameplate, you're ready to go. And you can let me know that your nameplate is ready by sending me an email. Compose. You will say to J. Garin, because you've already shared with me, the moment you start typing JGA, then you can choose my name from the list. You should say laser cut project, and then say, please, or I'm expecting this email. It would be always good to say, please cut my project called 5S John G nameplate. If you wanted to say, please cut my nameplate project, as long as you only have one nameplate file in there, that would be as fine as well. And then you hit send. And that's it. Have a good day.
Whoa! Can I fly the raptor? Can I fly the raptor? Answer